I been missing out the walk with the minute. I been building up the blocks like a me. Elliot got water dripping out the city. Oh my God, boy he got a God. Oh my God, boy that boy on top. Sipping walk, make my heart stop. All these hoes, yeah my love my thigh. Yo, oh let go, put her on roll, put that on payroll, put that on go. Yeah she like to go, yeah she love to blow. Get that dick slow, like a snow cone. Yo, get that bag, show 'em how to ball. I'm in the mall, yeah I'm saying. Give me a minute, yeah, I need a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm gonna tell you, hey, Cardi B and Pippin, Cardi B and kick the shit, yeah, give me a minute, yeah.
Hey, what's good, you guys? DGE Dolphin Gang Entertainment. It's your boy DG, and we back with another live stream. And not a lot of news came out today, so we just gonna run through a lot of things, rumors around the NFL. We're gonna listen to some press conferences of our old players. We're gonna go over this old player that we used to have on the Miami Dolphins, Ryan Tannehill, see what's going on with him. There's been some rumors of him going to the Minnesota Vikings. It makes sense. But at the same time, it don't make sense, but we're gonna go over that today. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe for more content. Help your boy get that 10K. That 10K is on its way. Right now we at 6,800, man. So hopefully we get to that 10K before the end of the year, man. Hopefully. But I appreciate y'all, love y'all. Y'all go check out my merch, www.dgemerchandise.com. We about to turn up in a little bit, man. I got a lot of stuff planned for my merchandise shop. A lot of stuff planned. So we got new Dolphins merch coming out, everything. We got y'all, man. We got y'all. But first thing we're going to go over is the Ryan Tannehill news. It seems like the Vikings have some interest in Ryan Tannehill. Like I told you, it does make sense. Sam Darnold, he signed with the Seahawks. Now, McCarthy, he going to end up being a starter, but they need to make sure that the backup is good enough to take their team to a certain level. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is going to promise the Vikings a Super Bowl. I don't think he's as talented as Sam Darnold. But, with all those weapons over there, I don't know. That's the best supporting cast Ryan Tannehill had throughout his whole career. Even with the Titans, he had A.J. Brown. But I don't think A.J. Brown is as good as Justin Jefferson. And on top of that, he's going to have Jordan Addison as well. He's going to have Aaron Jones in the backfield. They got a pretty good receiving corps. On top of that, they got the draft coming up. So the team only getting better. The O-line is pretty good enough for Ryan Tannehill to work. So I do think Ryan Tannehill, he could pop off for the Vikings, but I don't think he's going to make a major impact for the Vikings. I do not think so. I mean, he could prove all of us wrong and put up amazing numbers. He can, but I don't know. We're going to look at his stats real quick to see what he has done throughout his career. So he spent like half of his years in Miami, half of his years in Tennessee. So he's like split. I don't know where he would retire at once he retires. He could retire a Tennessee Titan, to be honest. He spent 5 years over there. He spent 6 years with the Dolphins, so 1 extra year with the Dolphins. But I don't know. He had most of his success with the Titans, in my opinion. most of it. So he might retire a Titan, man. So I can't really have no soul tie to Ryan Tannehill because he probably has soul ties to Tennessee. He probably does. The most touchdowns he threw in a year was in 2020 with the Tennessee Titans. He ain't do that with the Dolphins. He didn't. And the closest he got the Dolphins was 2014. 27 touchdowns. Wasn't that? I don't think that's the year that we went to the playoffs and lost to the Steelers. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. You know, one thing wrong about Ryan Tannehill, I don't like when quarterbacks throwing double-digit interceptions. He did that consistently until his last year. I think this was the year that he got hurt, wasn't it? Because he only played 11 games this year. I think this was the year that we made it to the playoffs and lost to the Steelers. You know, but this year he only put up 9 interceptions. But look, he only played 11 games. So if he had played the full season, he would have put up this amount of interceptions, man. So Ryan Tannehill, he wasn't the best of quarterbacks. You know, we thought we could have got more from him, but we got lesser than what we thought we could have got from Ryan Tannehill. You know, a lot of y'all was claiming like, hey, maybe Miami Dolphins should bring him back, but we went with Zach Wilson instead of getting Ryan Tannehill. You know, I don't think that Ryan Tannehill will cost more than Zach Wilson. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, you spent a year off from the NFL. You spent a whole year off from the NFL. So that bag probably going to be a little bit lower than what Ryan Tannehill expecting, you know, but it seems like he wants to go in the right situation. You know, one thing good about the Vikings, they have a dome. So Ryan Tannehill, he doesn't have the strongest of arms. So at home playing for the Vikings is not really going to affect him. You know, he could definitely throw in that environment with his type of arm. You know, we all know Ryan Tannehill, he doesn't have the strongest of arms, but, you know, he could play quarterback. That's what I would say. He could play quarterback, man. You know, I wouldn't say I miss Ryan Tannehill, but, you know, Ryan Tannehill, we thought he was going to be the one. You know, we should have known that since he used to play receiver and he turned into a quarterback at Texas A&M, we should have known that he wasn't going to end up being like that quarterback for us. It was kind of obvious. But shout out to Ryan Tannehill. He might make that comeback, man. He might make that comeback. Vikings, I don't know how they feel about it. You know, it seems like they don't really like it, to be honest. They're not really with it. They said Winston or Flacco, please. You know, you never know what you're going to get from Ryan Tannehill. You never know. Especially with the type of environment that the Vikings have. Like, they got an environment where Ryan Tannehill could succeed. They really do. You know, it seemed like Ryan Tannehill, he been chilling with his wife, his kids. His son look just like him. His son look like a future #1 overall pick quarterback. He do. Beautiful family, man. Shout out to that boy, Ryan.
What's up, guys? It's Ryan Tannehill here. My friends over at DSW just hooked me up with a couple pairs of my favorite shoes. Check these out. They sent me some.
He looked like Josh McCown low key. Josh McCown. Like he looked a lot like their quarterback coach with the Vikings. A lot like him, man. So this would be a perfect fit for Ryan Tannehill. Perfect fit. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings ended up signing Ryan Tannehill. I would not be shocked.
Adidas trainers and some Timberland boots. I always need a variety of styles in the closet between training and nights out with the family. I need options, and they got me covered.
Little sponsorship. That boy out there taking trips with his family. Shout out to him.
Everybody knows prepping for the big game means you got to get your snacks right. In our house, when we watch the Aggies, we like to make the Feel in the Heat spicy chicken dip. You start off with 2 cups of finely chopped chicken breast. Add in.
That boy not playing, so now he cooking. Man. But hey, maybe we get to see Ryan Tannehill this year, man. Maybe. You know, there's a lot of quarterbacks available, not just Ryan Tannehill, a lot of quarterbacks. But based off who's Who's left? Ryan Tannehill, he might be the best option. Might just be the best option, man. Right here, we got the list of the quarterbacks who are still available, you know, in free agency. Aaron Rodgers, I'm hearing that he visited the Steelers, but nothing imminent at the current moment. You know, he might not sign. You know, it seemed like the Giants, they already went their direction. They went and signed Jameis Winston. So I don't know. And the Vikings, it seemed like they're interested in Ryan Tannehill instead of Aaron Rodgers. It seemed like Aaron Rodgers really wants to go to the Vikings, but the Vikings, they're not gonna blow the bag on him. And Aaron Rodgers, he don't like that. He's willing to work something out, but it seemed like they're not meeting at the numbers. So now Aaron Rodgers, he's playing tit for tat with the Vikings and the Steelers. You know, if you keep on doing that with the Steelers, they're not going to take you no more. And you're going to have to take that discount with the Vikings. Giants, they already said we over you. We're not even going to take you. That's what Giants said. They went with Jameis Winston instead of Aaron Rodgers. That's kind of disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, that's what Aaron Rodgers get for waiting for so long to sign. Like he a top 10 quarterback. He probably is based off his talent, but right now you're not a top 10 quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. You're not. You're probably close to like 15, 20, but you know, you don't deserve to act the way you're acting right now. You don't. You know, we love you. You a Hall of Famer, but come on, Aaron. 20 years in the business, man. 20 years, fam. Just make a choice, bro. Make a choice. We know you got like 2 years in you left. We know you got like 2 years. Trey Lance, he available. Drew Lock, he's available. Joe Flacco, he's still available. That could have been an option for the Vikings, but they still went with Ryan. They didn't go with Ryan Tannehill, but there's a lot of other quarterbacks that I'm saying like Aaron Rodgers, Ryan Tannehill. I'm choosing Aaron Rodgers. Trey Lance, Ryan Tannehill, I'm choosing Ryan Tannehill. Drew Lock, Ryan Tannehill, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on that one. 50-50 on that one. Joe Flacco, Ryan Tannehill, I'll probably choose Joe Flacco. Carson Wentz, Ryan Tannehill, I don't know. Case Keenum, Ryan Tannehill, I don't know about that one either, but probably Ryan Tannehill. But after that, everybody else probably, except for Russell Wilson, I would probably choose Ryan Tannehill. No, not Ryan Tannehill, Russell Wilson. I would choose Russell Wilson over Ryan Tannehill. But it seemed like Russell Wilson, he probably going to the Browns. The Browns, most likely. That's his only hope, the Browns, man. Only hope. Tyler Huntley, he's still available. You know, we went with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson with the Dolphins. Maybe we bring in Tyler Huntley back to compete with Zach Wilson. But I think Zach Wilson beating out Tyler Huntley in camp if he comes back. He definitely beating him out. Teddy Bridgewater, you know, it don't seem like he liked Miami too much. So I don't know about Teddy Bridgewater. I do not know. CJ Beathard, we brought him in, and then the Jags, they came and stole him. Now he's a free agent. Maybe we bring him back for a camp body. Maybe Sam Ehlinger, a decent quarterback out of Texas a few years ago, hasn't really lived up to anything. I doubt anybody signs him. Probably a practice squad player. Desmond Ridder, you know, he came back. You know, nobody signed him. Raiders gave him a shot. Still played like he was trash. So I think it's done for Desmond Ridder. I think it's done. Jeff Driscoll, you know, a decent option as a third quarterback. You know, but looking at this list, you see why the Vikings went and contacted Ryan Tannehill to see what his availability is. You see why. It's kind of low in regards to the quarterbacks available. It's kind of low. You know, there's nobody in here that you think that you could sign and they're going to take you to the Super Bowl. Nobody in here other than Russell Wilson. You know, we seen him win one before. And Aaron Rodgers, we seen him win a Super Bowl before. So that's your only two options. If you're really trying to win a Super Bowl, sign Russell Wilson, sign Aaron Rodgers. If you don't want neither one of them boys, then you're going to have to rebuild with one of them quarterbacks in the NFL draft. Simple as that. Simple as that. But both of them boys, they definitely going to ask for a lot of money because of their pedigree. They will. You know, Joe Flacco, he won a Super Bowl before. He might ask for a lot of money, but he not going to ask for too much. He 40 years old. Aaron Rodgers 41. Aaron Rodgers, he older than that's crazy. Did not know that. Did not know that. How old is Russell Wilson? 36. That boy getting old, man. That boy is getting old. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about Ryan Tannehill joining the Vikings, maybe. Would this be a good fit? Yes, no, maybe so. This gives you like a bad sign right here in regards to him joining the Vikings. It seems like he's not gonna coach up JJ McCarthy.
In a quarterback room in the same room, we're competing against each other. We're watching the same tape. We're doing the same drills. I don't think it's my job to mentor him, but if he learns from me along the way, then that's a great thing.
Hey, JJ McCarthy, be careful, bro. Be careful. If he wouldn't do that for Will Levis, what makes you think that he's gonna go to Miami, help Tua out to become a better quarterback? He would have never done that. With Zach Wilson and Tua, there's not much that I think Tua could learn from Zach Wilson. There's not much. I think they both on the same boat. Still trying to find a way to solidify that they're both franchise quarterbacks. It's still trying to make it happen. They still trying, man. So we're going to see what happens with Ryan Tannehill, dog. We're going to see. We will see, man. Next, we going to watch Pharaoh Brown real quick.
What's up, y'all?
This is the new tight end that we signed. Definitely going to be a blocking piece. I posted a video earlier today in regards to Pharaoh Brown. Y'all go check it out. I go into detail in regards to what I think about him, the high school tape, college tape, NFL tape, all that. But let's check this out.
Welcome back into the Draft Time podcast here on the Dolphins YouTube channel. My guest today is new Dolphins free agent tight end Pharaoh Brown. Pharaoh, welcome in, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me in today.
We're very happy to have you out here. How you fitting in so far? We saw you had some lunch in the cafeteria. Food pretty good?
Food pretty good. Sun is shining. I fit in very well when the sun is out.
The South Florida environment's not too bad, is it? So I want to start with something that I saw actually on your Instagram page. I didn't know that you actually got nominated for it. You didn't win the Angry Run Award, but you probably should have, right? That angry run you had last year against the Cardinals. Did they tell you were going to be nominated for the Angry Runs Award, or how does that work?
I never noticed until somebody in the building had said something to me about it, and then it was like, hey, have you seen the Kyle Brennan is super animated, in this talking in this thing. It was like, so I went and watched it, and I was like, I ended up watching, I seen him describing me, and then I went and watched it. It's a great little take that he does.
Yeah, it's a good segment. And the reason I wanted to start with it was because watching your game, it's all about toughness and physicality. And I just want to kind of ask you, what is that mindset, or the way you play and the mindset that it brings, what does it bring to a football team when you can go out there and kind of assert your will for 60 minutes on a guy like that?
I think it just, for me, everybody feeds off of that. So when you making big plays, or when anybody sees somebody getting ran over or just getting dominated, it just brings the juice. And, for me, the game is all about juice, having juice, and the team with the most juice wins at the end of the day. So those sparks, it's kind of like a snowball effect. When you see the momentum, it's just a momentum, right? People getting juiced up, you making big plays, and the momentum builds, and, then you just become this unstoppable force. So whenever I can get a little 10-yard run and juice up the team, it's always great.
Have you met Coach Embry yet, our tight ends coach?
I have met Coach Embry. Today is first time.
How was that?
It was great. He's you can tell that he loves football.
Hey, Coach Embry, he gonna love him for sure. Definitely gonna love Pharaoh Brown, man. Definitely gonna love him, because you see Coach Embry at practice. He emphasizes in regards to the tight ends knowing how to block. We tried that with Jody Forrester last year. It ain't work out. Now we're gonna try with Pharaoh Brown. He already know the game, man, in regards to blocking. He a pretty good blocker. Now Embry, all he really gotta teach him is regards to being a good receiving tight end. He shows that he could get yards after the catch because he's a big guy, tough to take down. But in regards to that wiggle in his game, the route running, catching. You know, he just gonna have to work on that. And then each week he'll probably get better and better and better. On top of that, you got Jonnu Smith to learn from, a pretty good receiving tight end. So I think we got a pretty athletic, big tight end room.
Boy, he loves. He was a tight end, and he loves the game, and that's all you can ask for.
The reason
Got
I
great energy.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because like I think Jonnu had like a long catch and run against the Rams last year, and when you're watching the film, like if you pan out, you can see him on the sidelines like just going crazy. And so I'm thinking like you match his style. I imagine there was some of that conversation when you guys met about how your play style matches what he likes in a player.
Yeah, I think the fire is a little low right now because we're not out there on Sundays yet, so it's like a building up, you know. We are kind of like tame right now, but you can tell that he loves the game and that he has great energy, and I think that, you know, the room will be able to relate. I would be able to fit in and relate to that.
I think he might have had a bad round on the golf course last week, and maybe that's why he wasn't so fired up for you here. I know he's a big golfer. So, no, but going back to your tape, did you play tackle at any point in your life?
Tackle,
Or offensive
defensive
line?
tackle?
No, like O-line at all?
Never.
Because
I thought he did. I go check out his high school highlight tape, man. Even his NFL tape, sometimes he'll get in the stands, put his hand in the dirt. I'm like, man, is that a tackle out there? Is that a tackle? I'm telling you, man, he gonna look like a tackle sometimes when you watch tape next year. He gonna look like a tackle, man. So he definitely gonna help the running game, bro. Definitely gonna help.
Again, the pass rush reel, the pass protection reel. Like, again, I'm talking Jalen Phillips, Hassan Reddick, I think Azeez Ojulari, some of the best pass rushers in the game. You get called upon to block them one-on-one. Am I right in that assessment? Like, you've gotten that assignment plenty of times, and you win those assignments. I'm curious, like, where does that come from? Because most tight ends are chipping or helping and releasing, like, but you're getting those guys one-on-one.
It just come from a lot of praying, honestly.
Praying?
You're on the island with these premier guys, and we don't get a lot of time as a tight end where I've been, like, actually pass rushing and collecting that. So, honestly, Bill Belichick and my coach, O'Brien and Will Lana, is like, just play basketball. So, I was a hooper. So, when I'm out there, it's a little bit of praying, and it's just like, all right, I'm just about to hoop and, you know, stay in front of him, man. That's kind of what I do. But by no means am I an expert at it. I just play basketball, and that's something that you just mentioned, Coach, every day. We talked about, like, you know, just working. My goal this year is to be the best wide tight end in the league, highest rated blocking tight end, highest rated pass.
I like him already. I like him already, man. Let's make it happen, bro. Let's make it happen, man.
As blocking tight end, if I catch 0 balls, I'll be happy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like the praying is working because
I never heard nobody say that. If I catch 0 balls, I'll be happy. Never heard a tight end say that, man. Never heard a tight end say that. That goes to show you, like, he really here to be a Dolphin, man. He not here for the money. He not here for this. He not here for that. He here to help this team win. Shout out to Farrell, man. Shout out to him.
Tape is really good, man. Like the Seahawks, the Patriots tape. You're out there moving the line of scrimmage. You're catching guys, you know, combination blocks. Like, it's so much fun to watch for someone that likes the actual blocking aspect of the game. But it sounds like you've already had that conversation about being a really dominant force off the edge. How do you think that can impact a team that runs as much outside zone and relies upon the tight ends in the running game as much as the Dolphins do?
I think it's great. I mean, outside zone is perfect for me. I've been in a lot of situations where it's more downhill and requires more physicality. I feel that, in my experience, outside zone is less physical and more technique. But, I mean, I bring physicality to all my blocks, and, I mean, I'm just excited to be here.
Yeah.
I play football, man. Like, the scheme, it doesn't really matter to me. If it's football, I know that I can get in there and make it happen.
Just go beat somebody up one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
That rest will
Yes,
take care of
sir.
itself.
Let's just make the game simple.
Hey, that works for me. Speaking of, you know, your career so far, you've been around the block a little bit. You've been with a few teams, been in the league for a while now. What do you think all that experience in different teams and environments and schemes and organizations, what can that help you bring the Dolphins in terms of your leadership and just your overall experience as a player?
Man, just that right there, experience, seeing a lot of different things, being able to relate to a lot of people. We all come from different situations. I mean,
why can't I make any changes without an admin approval? Why?
With Monday.
Just helping resiliency. It's not necessarily something that is like, oh, this is what you bring as far as like in the locker room, but you know, you see somebody that's down and you can relate to them, right, to help them, you know, do something with their wife, kids, you know. And I can offer some words of encouragement and some affirmations and, you know, to pick them up. So, I mean, I'm not necessarily, I feel like everybody is leaders, right? And whenever I can help, I just help where I can. I don't come into somewhere and be like, oh, I gotta lead, I'm the guy to lead it. It's like, nah, you know, just helping other people is kind of like my big thing and what I like to do.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so you actually spent your college days and your last year as a pro, where I'm from, the Pacific Northwest, from Oregon to the Seahawks and now down here. I know you've only been here for a little bit now, but have you been in South Florida before? I'm guessing you have. Most players spent some time.
I haven't.
No,
I haven't. It was too
That's
expensive.
crazy. He never been to South Florida before? That's crazy, man. I don't care where you're from. You got to go to South Florida at least once. At least once, bro. There's a lot of people down here for spring break, you know, so it's definitely lit down here right now. So
For me, man.
Yeah, it gets very expensive here in Seattle too.
Yeah, Seattle. I was in a couple of expensive markets. Boston was expensive. Seattle was expensive. So, I mean, when I get my free time, I like to go to Mexico.
Okay.
Oh, Mexico. Okay, that boy lit. He traveling. He played with the Browns before. Hold on real quick. Okay. He played with the Browns before. He played with Houston, Cleveland, New England, Boston, and Seattle. That's interesting right there. It don't matter where he go, though. No matter where he go. Now he with the Dolphins.
Very nice. So that's, I guess, a relatively similar climate to what South Florida is. But just with your experience of getting here, would you arrive today, I'm guessing? So you've been here for a little bit. What's the biggest, I guess, culture shock going from the Northwest down to South Florida?
The sun is shining. People is more happy.
It's not raining.
We're all not vitamin D deficient. You know, some rough stuff in Seattle, but yeah, I'm excited to see the city. I have family that's from here. My grandmother lived here, so she moved, but yeah, man, I'm just excited to see. Palm trees is my favorite, so whenever it's sun and palm trees, it's, you know.
Yeah, I can't get away from palm trees, man. I love palm trees. I can't leave Florida. You know, I was thinking about moving out of Florida, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you can walk about 10 yards out that way and find some palm trees if you're trying to look at them. Last question here for you. Love to close with these questions about the play.
What's good, my boy Cap? Yeah, we're gonna go over that today. After this little video, we just gonna go over the updates in regards to who signed to where. And then, you know, I got Robert Jones. We're gonna react to his interview. I got Raheem Mostert. We're gonna react to his interview with the Raiders. You know, simple stuff. You know, not a lot of stuff happened with the Dolphins today, so I can't really go over a lot of things. But, you know, we're gonna go over former Dolphins today. I say that much.
Players Foundations. Tell us about the Pharaoh Brown Foundation if you can.
Pharaoh Brown Foundation is just me giving back and really just doing stuff on my heart, helping kids. A lot of stuff is helping single mothers, helping kids that come from unfortunate situations and trying to have mentorship programs and different things and just offering a spark into their lives and just helping. So we like to put on different camps. We like to do stuff during the season last year and raise money and just get the kids and help out kids that's less fortunate, partnering with, you know, I've done it all from women victims of women trafficking and kids in hospitals and out of age foster care. You know, I think that really what people need is to be motivated. People need the help. People need to feel like somebody cares. So that's just my biggest thing is getting out. And I love to see, like, I don't even want to say my age, but you know, I've been out and seen like some of these kids, some of these kids, you know, some that you helped when they were younger and they playing college football now and they are, dreams is coming true. They're in the NFL now. Like, I remember I want to talk to these kids in high school, right? And now they're in the league. So it's like, they remember that moment, you know what I mean? So where I was from, I didn't have a lot of people to come talk to me. So I always wanted to be able to change that for the next kid because I think it could have helped me not bump my head a couple times.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, man, having that helping hand. Sounds like you're going to do that for the Dolphins locker room as well as the community here. We have a great community outreach program, so you can get it started right away here. New Dolphins tight end, Pharaoh Brown. Pharaoh, appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Travis.
A shout out to Pharaoh. Welcome to the Dolphins. Much love, bro. If y'all want to see what I said about him, y'all go check out that video on my YouTube page. I'll let y'all know everything and how I feel about him. I'll let y'all know everything. Next, we're just gonna go over the recent updates in regards to free agency. Like I told y'all, Jameis Winston, he signed with the Giants a 2-year, $8 million deal. That's a pretty good deal, man. That's cheaper than Zach Wilson deal. So I don't know, man. Would y'all rather have Zach Wilson or Jameis Winston? Which one would you rather have? To be honest, probably Jameis, to be honest, for me. Jameis would have been the better choice. But he goes over there with the Giants where they have Malik Neighbors. They got Jalen Hyatt. They got Theo Johnson at tight end. Running back, they still got Devin Singletary. They got Tyrone Tracy. But, hey, they still got the draft, so they could still make their team better. Maybe this is the right situation for Jameis Winston. Ryan Daboll, he kind of fixed Josh Allen. Kind of fixed him. He might be able to do the same thing with Jameis Winston. He might be able to do the same thing. In the division, you got the Cowboys. You got the Eagles. You got the Commanders. I don't know how the Giants going to make it out, man. I do not know. And I feel like Jameis Winston, he will make a lot of mistakes that might handicap the Giants to the point where they're going to finish fourth, regardless of whatever quarterback that they get. They will finish fourth in that division. Cowboys, there's a chance that they finish fourth, but it's between the Cowboys and the Giants who finishes fourth in the NFC East, between those two teams. But shout out to Jameis. He got himself a job, and we're going to see what he does over there, man. We're going to see. Tyler Conklin, he signed with the Chargers on a 1-year deal. Justin Herbert, he gets a new tight end on the team. He had Hayden Hurst last year. Tyler Conklin, not one of the best tight ends in the league, but he's serviceable. Not the best blocker, but he's serviceable in regards to blocking. They're definitely going to be running the ball a lot over there with the Chargers based off the O-line improvements. They signed Andre James. They signed Mekhi Becton. They got Rashawn Slater. They got Joe Alt. They got Zion Johnson. They got Jamari Slayer from Georgia. So that O-line going to be solid for the Chargers. That O-line will be solid for the Chargers. So shout out to Tyler Conklin signing that deal with the Chargers. Shout out to him. Ain't really do nothing last year. 449 yards, 4 touchdowns. Nothing too crazy. 51 receptions with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he wrapped up the visit with the Steelers, but no deal imminent at the current moment. No expectation that would happen today. So maybe something develops in the future. Maybe. Who knows? Oh, right here we got a little interview with whatchamacallit, Cameron Hayward. He's going to talk about it.
Building today.
There's plenty of people who show up and then don't get signed. So, I'm not putting stock in that. I to really set up right at the home base.
Okay, very good. Did your strength coaches tell you who was in the building today, Cam? Anybody?
They did. They did who was in the building today.
Okay. That person's name is what's his name? Who's in the building today, Cam?
Are you talking about my trainers?
Yes. No, I'm talking about the guy you kind of called out on your pod, Cam. That's what I'm talking about.
It's funny. Everybody gave me crap. They said I called him out. I don't think I really called him out. I just said I was not going to go on a darkness retreat to recruit him. If he wants to be a Steeler, he can be a Steeler.
Right.
It doesn't. That's the pitch. I don't know why everybody thought, oh, Cam's really going at him. And yeah, felt like you're really gonna scare him off. I'm not scaring anybody off. I just want to win games and play good football.
Right, and part of that is knowing that you got a team, you got a quarterback, you got some. If your team can't build in the proper way, because he's on. Wait a minute, let me get this right. A darkness retreat, as you said. That's not calling him out at all, Cam. Not at all.
I guess not.
Oh, but hey, he showed up today,
He did.
right? So what do you think now that he actually was in the building today, Cam?
There's plenty of people who show up and then don't get signed. So like,
Oh, tried Aaron Rodgers, man. Tried Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not putting stock in that. I that's not my decision. Omar, Mike T, y'all handle it out. Y'all figure it out.
Okay, but and
It don't seem like he really want Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers. It don't really seem like it, man. So I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is set in stone, the Steelers quarterback, but as of right now, they don't have no other option unless they trade the world and the moon for the number 1 overall pick and try to get Cam Moore. That's their only options right now. That's their only options. If they don't make that happen, Steelers, they're going to finish 3rd or 4th in their division. You know, it's going to be Ravens, probably going to be Bengals, then it's going to be Steelers, then it's going to be Browns, most likely. Most likely. But we're going to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. Brandon Cooks, he makes a little return to the Saints, his old team, his first team that he bought out with Drew Brees, you know, but Drew Brees, he's not there no more. So are you going to get the same Brandon Cooks? Are you? You know, so this is a very under the radar move that nobody probably really know about. This is not in the headlines. So, you know, we're bringing out every signing here on my live stream. Every signing. It just depends on who's going to be the quarterback for the Saints. It just depends. You know, are you going to get somebody of the caliber of Drew Brees? You know, you could never. It's very hard to find a Drew Brees. Very hard. You know, but they're adding some pieces, man. They got Chris Olave. They got Rashid Shaheed. Now they got Brandon Cooks. So they got a pretty fast receiving core over there with the Saints. Pretty fast receiving core, man. So Brandon Cooks, that's a pretty good signing for the Saints, but we're going to see how it ends out. We're going to see he had 259 yards last year, 3 touchdowns. Okay, Brandon Cooks, okay. And like I told y'all, Aaron Rodgers spotted at the Steelers practice facility, deal reporting not imminent yet. Nothing set in stone. Stephon Diggs, he visited the Patriots, but it ends without a deal. I'm surprised he even took that shot to visit the Patriots. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. You know, he probably confident in regards to what the Patriots got going on, man. Stephon Diggs, you know, as of right now, you know, I seen him working out with the Raiders quarterback, Geno Smith. So I thought he was going to make that move to the Raiders, but he took a visit to the Patriots. He seen something that he liked over there, but he left without a deal. You know, he's still recovering from that ACL. So, you know, something probably not going to get worked out in the right now, but probably in the meantime, in the future, maybe something works out with Stephon Diggs and the Patriots, and he's back in the AFC East. Another guy we got to worry about. Another guy. You know, Stephon Diggs, he could definitely make the receiving corps better. If you get the old Stephon Diggs, that's a good weapon to give to Drake May. If you get the old Stephon Diggs. But I don't know if the old Stephon Diggs will come back. If you get what I'm trying to say. If you get what I'm trying to say, man. Michael Gallup, he unretires and signs a 1-year deal with the Commanders. He rejoins Dan Quinn with the Commanders. Used to be the DC for the Cowboys. So they reunite. So Dan Quinn probably seen something that he liked from Michael Gallup and probably thought that it'll probably work with Jaden Daniels. You know, he probably felt so good about this team to the point where, you know, he forgot about retirement. You know, he's like, man, I want to come back and play for the right team. And the right opportunity came out. And look now, he's with the Commanders, man. He's with the Commanders. So, you know, this might be a good sign. It might not. You know, right now they got Deebo Samuel. They got Michael Gallup. They still got Luke McCaffrey. And I think they're gonna add a big time player in the draft. They're definitely gonna add a big time player. I don't know if the Browns get Carson Wentz in there. They may make the playoffs because the game they lost last year were really close. Stephon Diggs needed to go to the Browns team back up with Kevin Stefanski. I don't know if he would be willing to go to Cleveland. I don't know. Stephon Diggs don't seem like that type of guy. He don't seem like that type of guy. But he taking visits though. He taking visits. I think he's gonna weigh out all his options. So him leaving the Patriots without a deal, I don't think it's a bad sign. But he definitely gonna weigh out all his options. He's gonna go to the best place that's best for him. I think the best place is the Raiders or the Cowboys. Those are the two best spots for him. Danielle Hunter signed a 1 year, $35.6 million deal, man. You might as well let him play quarterback. Man. That's a lot of money for 1 year. 35.6 mil. Damn. Shout out to Willie Gay Jr. I spoke about him in my other live stream. Y'all go check that out. I'm gonna post the video of me just talking about Willie Gay Jr. today on my YouTube, so y'all be on the lookout for that. Y'all know y'all don't want to watch my whole live stream, so I just cut it out and post it on my YouTube in portions, so y'all can watch it like that. So y'all be on the lookout for what I said about Willie Gay Jr. I like this signing right here. Him and Jordan Brooks should be a good duo. Man. Hopefully we get the old Willie Gay Jr. that was with the Chiefs. That's the one we want. Texans are signing Cam Robinson. They signed him to a 1 year deal worth $14.5 million deal. That's not bad, man, for Cam Robinson. We need O-line help, but when you see these prices of these O-linemen, it's like, oh, now I see why we ain't signed them. It seems like the Texans, they're really taking it serious in regards to the O-line, man. And I heard that the Texans signed Trent Brown, the 6'7", 6'8" tackle that used to play for the Patriots, I think the Raiders. He signed with the Texans. So Texans, they're not playing, man. They got a starting five and they got backups. They're not playing. They're really trying to help CJ Stroud, man. So I like what the Texans are doing, and they taking the O-line serious, unlike us. Commanders, they reworked Deebo Samuel's deal. Will guarantee $17 million of Samuel's salary this season, adding $3 million in incentives. So this is only going to help the team add more cap space to see if they're going to sign somebody else. We're going to see. Seems like the Commanders are not done, but we're going to see what other moves that they make coming up. You're going to see. Jordan Fuller reportedly signing with the Falcons. Old player for the Rams when they were on that Super Bowl run, I think. So he has a familiarity with the head coach, Raheem Morris. So this makes sense in regards to the signing. Definitely makes sense. Justin Simmons, he's still a free agent. Jesse Bates, he's still on this team. So him and Jesse Bates should be a good pairing. Should definitely be a good pairing. Kilo Witherspoon returning to the Rams. Played pretty well for them last year. Played pretty well. A long, lengthy cornerback. Could definitely cover like big receivers. Sometimes he could cover small receivers with speed. It just depends on the situation. Just depends. But he's a good option, man, for the Rams. And they're going to have a very, very good defense, too. So you really want to be a part of the defense that the Rams got building up. Really want to be a part of it. Vikings reportedly treating J.J. McCarthy as the team's starter next season, will not pursue Aaron Rodgers. Wow. And like I told y'all, Chargers signed former Raiders center Andre James. Even though I think they already have a center, right? I thought they already had a center, but they had more pieces to that O-line. So Chargers are definitely fixing the O-line for Justin Herbert. I wish the Dolphins were doing that. I definitely wish the Dolphins were doing that. So, maybe Jim Harbaugh should have been the signing for the Dolphins. Maybe. Just maybe he should have been the head coach. Patriots get the Vikings guard, Garrett Bradbury. So Patriots, they keep on getting better. They signed Morgan Moses. They got Michael Benu. Now they got Garrett Bradbury. You know, they're probably going to a few other old linemen in the draft. As Patriots, they ain't going to be nothing to play with. My bad, y'all. There's not a market for him. If he wants to prove himself, then go and prove that he's still that guy. Most definitely. I think there's a chance that Stephon Diggs could still be that guy. There's a decent chance. If Bengals gave up that bag, 161 million, 115 million, man, that's a lot of money, right? A lot of money. Shout out to them two boys, man. You know, those are the recent updates in regards to free agency. I went over this with y'all yesterday on my live stream. So nothing else happened after that. You know, probably tomorrow I will be on live. So we're going to go over whatever new happens after this. We will definitely go over that, man. So now we're going to go back to the interviews. Who should I do next? I'm going to do Raheem Mostert. We're going to check out what he had to say about becoming a new Raider. We're going to check that out to see.
And an exciting day here in the facility as we're joined by the newest member of the Las Vegas Raiders, Raheem Mostert. Raheem, congratulations, man. An exciting day for you and the family. And I'll start right here. Big picture. Yeah. What about this situation here in Vegas made sense for you at this point in your career?
Yeah, you know, obviously opportunity is always good, right? And you got to go where the opportunity is calling. So for me, you know, just being in this realm, you know, being back in the West Coast, being a Raider now, I think that's the most important thing. You know, this shield, you know, that you're wearing, the shield that's on the hat, you know, these logos and everything that a Raider stands for is something special. You know, I've been a huge fan since I was a kid. You know, just seeing all the greats, right, that just went through here. I mean, I grew up watching Miami, and one of the special guys that I liked watching was Warren Sapp, you know, when he came through, you know, the Raider Nation. So it's just unbelievable, man. And I'm super excited about the opportunity. We have a great coaching staff. Pete Carroll is just, you know, he called me right away and we chopped it up, and he asked me, hey, are you ready to run the ball for me finally? And I was like, yeah, let's do this, you know. And also obviously Chip, you know, Chip Kelly. I started out my career with him out in the Eagles, so it's just
Oh wow, that's crazy. So you got some soul ties with the Eagles. You do got some soul ties.
full circle moment for me.
You know, you talk about that familiarity with Chip, and you know, at this point, for someone like you who's played so much football, who's played so much high-level football, like, how important was it to have some level of familiarity with whatever your next place was going to be?
No, it's very important, you know. But also with new change, also there has to be adjustments. You know, there's going to be some adjustments that go on in this offense for me, and that's okay. You know, I feel like I'm just a versatile style type of back. You know, I'm not just a back that could just run in between the tackles, but I could also, you know, jet sweeps or in motion and catch the ball out of the backfield or run routes. So, you know, I'm multifaceted in so many different ways of the offense. And I feel like that's going to be a great opportunity here.
You know, you talked about Pete, and I was just thinking about this when you were talking. Like, it feels like you guys probably kind of like circled each other for a little bit of time, right? Where you're in San Francisco, he's up in Seattle, both doing your things. But like, it must be exciting now to, one, like you said, have a chance to finally run the ball for Coach Carroll, but like also play for a dude who's been very clear from the jump. Like, you look at what he's done historically. Yeah. This is a guy who wants to run the football and do it effectively.
Yeah, he wants to run football, wants to do it effectively, but also he's a guy that's, you know, he wants players to play. He wants players to be at their best, and you could just see that. You know, I've had several conversations with guys that played for Seattle during the times that he was there, and all they kept talking about was, man, Pete is awesome. Like he's gonna get you to play for him. Like he's gonna get you to play for the organization, not just him, but for the whole team. And that's something that you want.
You know, I was just thinking about this. You're a dude who's a decade plus into the NFL now, like, and you talk about the excitement of playing for a guy like Pete, players coach, a guy who's going to bring the best out of you. Even a decade into the NFL, is it still important for you to have a coach who's like, "Hey, man, we're going to get the best out of you. Like, I'm gonna be one of those guys that you're going to want to run through a brick wall for me."
Yeah, no, I mean that's what you want, and you have to have a no nonsense coach, and I feel like that's Pete. I feel like that's who he is.
That's not my McDaniel. That's not my McDaniel.
Right? He seems nice and everything like that, but I feel like, you know, just by talking with other, you know, colleagues in the league, they have the same mentality. Pete is a no nonsense guy. He wants to get the best out of you, and he requires it because, you know, ultimately that's what helps drive a championship, you know, style team.
You know, it's so funny. I've asked a lot of people this question this offseason, but I haven't had a chance to ask a running back this question yet. When we kind of like zoom out, we look at big picture. You look around the NFL this year, what Saquon did, what Josh Jacobs did, what some of these other guys, you know, Derrick Henry, what some of these guys did in their new spots. Like, big picture, do we feel like the running back is back? It kind of feels like this position group is having a resurgence in 2024-25.
Yeah, I feel like it's making its track back, you know, to prominence that it once was. Obviously, it's going to take some time, but you know, with these guys that, you know, the past 2 years, and myself included, right, we've all done some unbelievable things, but I feel like it's on the up and up, and it's exciting to see that, you know, especially in a position that, you know, people don't really look at as being a powered position within an offense.
But and it's so interesting to me too, because like you're 100% right, where it feels like until as of late that people looked at the running back position like you know in a big you know group, they looked at it a certain type of way. But then you look and the teams that have had success in December, in January, teams that are winning the Super Bowl, they can all run the football. Yeah. So from a running back, like, again, not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but like, what does an effective running game do for an offense in totality?
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell, you know, when there's no lanes opening up, everything works hand in hand. You know, the pass game works because of the run game. The run game works because of the pass game, and play action, right? All that is hand in hand, and it goes with each other. When you're dealing with a run game situation, you know, if somebody's running the ball good, you know, the defense has to shift in a way where they have to contain the run game. Well, that leaves opportunity for play action, and then play action opens up, you can go back to the run game, and then you go back to the run game, boom, you got your big plays down the field with pass, you know. So everything works hand in hand, and sometimes I feel like that's kind of misconstrued a little bit, you know, with the outside world not looking at a bigger scope.
You know, we look at a guy like you who, again, we heard it during your conference call a minute ago. You're kind of the exception to the rule in the best way now. A guy who's a decade plus into the NFL, a guy who stayed relatively healthy, a guy who's produced. Like, when you look back at the first couple of years of your career, like that.
I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm happy for Raheem Mostert. You know, he found his spot. You know, 1 year, $2 million. You know, hopefully he ball out for the Raiders, man. Hopefully he ball out. You know, I definitely don't think that the Raiders are a threat. You know, especially what the Broncos did this offseason. Chiefs, they always going to be good. And the Chargers, it seems like they're going to be better. So, as of right now, Raiders, I predict them being fourth in that division again. You know, they ain't make enough moves to be up there with the greats in that division. I don't think so. But we're going to see what happens this year. We're going to see.
The early chapters. Have you changed the way that you take care of your body, the way that you prepare, the way that you ensure that come game day that you're ready to rock?
Yeah. I mean, obviously with mother time, right, comes, you know, a different level of preparation. And for me, you know, I've figured out the preparation to beat all. I feel like, you know, just preparing myself during the off season, like early on in my career. I didn't necessarily take the steps in the off season, like I work, but work and then recovery. You know, that's one thing that I didn't really realize. And then now it's like, no, you need to work, recover, and then also your diet. My diet, you know, and you could ask my wife, before it used to be not so good. You know, now it's like it's a lot better. But you know, you're always gonna have get off the boat a little bit here and there, and enjoy a vacation or two, but that's just a part of the off season.
It's so interesting too, where you see these guys that have been in the league for so long. It feels like the number one thing picking up is just the diet. It's the understanding of like, hey, really guys changed over this?
Yeah, it has, because like before I was putting unleaded gas in my, but now it's like, look, you can't put unleaded gas in a Ferrari. Like you can't do that. Like you got to put the premium, the best of the best gas, and same thing with like a diesel truck, right? For the old linemen, you gotta give those guys some diesel fuel. It's different levels to it. So.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that I find really interesting when you talk to people that have been in the league as long as you.
One thing about that premium gas is way more expensive than the unleaded gas. Way more expensive. But hey, the boys, they got money now to invest in premium gas to put in their body so they could perform at a high level. Now, and that's what you really want, man.
You have,
that's
and
what you really want.
it's we see the averages every year of like how short the average NFL career is. So when you come across these folks that have, in many ways, defied the odds, like I always find it really interesting. But before I let you go, Raheem, man, I'm just curious, like, you have you allowed yourself to kind of think about what that first game at Allegiant's going to be like, wearing the silver and black? I know it probably.
Jeffrey, I understand, but Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, and Sean Payton, that's going to be tough to beat out, man, unless you have like a franchise quarterback. Geno Smith, if he was a franchise quarterback, he would still be with the Seahawks. If he was a franchise quarterback, he's a good enough quarterback to help them win games, but I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I love Geno, but I don't think Geno going to help them boys get there. Especially in that division, that hard-ass division.
It feels
right
like
there.
a lifetime away from now, but like there's got to be. I mean, look, you dress for the part already, so we're already in a great kind of beginning to this. But have you thought about what that first time's going to be like?
You know what? No, I haven't, because I've never played in the stadium, so I'm excited about the opportunity. And then secondly, I'm always wearing black. I feel like and somewhat like white or silver, so. I feel natural. And then today I tried my helmet on and looked in the mirror and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to rock. It was that moment for me. So I would have to say, like, being on the practice field with the guys, or even like just having that practice jersey, that's going to be a moment for me, just because, I know so much about this badge. I know so much about the shield that, I'm just excited to play.
Yeah, man, we're excited to have you here.
Yeah.
Just another exciting piece, and really what's been a really exciting offseason for this organization, for this team. We cannot wait to get rolling. We cannot wait to talk to you, get to learn a little bit more about you over the coming months. But enjoy the day, man. A big day for you and the family. Congratulations. We'll talk to you soon. All right, brother?
Yeah, but this is a good signing by the Raiders, man. Good signing. Raheem Mostert, he in there with Amir Abdullah, a pretty good receiving back. Zamir White, a bruiser, but he hasn't lived up to what we thought he was, at Georgia. Sincere McCormick, he came on strong last year, UDFA, had a pretty good career at UTSA, pretty good career. So he might, earn a spot on the 53. Dylan Livee, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. A running back out of, I forgot what school he came out of, but we're going to see if he could carve out a spot on this team, but I'm pretty sure the Raiders, they're going to get a big time running back in this draft. They will get a big time running back. So shout out to Raheem Mostert, shout out to you, praying for you, hoping success, happiness, family health, everything, man. I love Raheem. I love everything that he did for the Dolphins, but hey, sometimes the good things got to come to an end. Good things got to come to an end, man.
Cowboys Nation.
Next person. We got that boy Robert Jones, man. That boy got that ice on. He got that money. That money that Dolphins were never going to give him. Let's check him out. See what you got to say about being a new Cowboy. Cowboys, they build up old linemen. We're used to Cowboys having good old linemen. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Jones come in here, have his best year throughout his whole career with the Miami Dolphins. I feel like he could capitalize off of that and become his best self in Dallas. That's why I think, man. So, hey, let's check out
Kyle Yeoman's
that boy
back here
Rob
from the
Jones.
Star in Frisco. We're joined by another Cowboys signee, Rob Jones, offensive lineman. And the reason I say offensive lineman is because you can do a whole lot of things across the board, but the big thing is protecting Dak Prescott, running the football behind you guys. What's the excitement level as you make your way to Dallas?
Man, I'm just excited to get started, man. Go out here, fresh start. Come to one of the most prestigious, organizations in the league, for many years. And, just ready to come out here and get started and, win some games.
You talk about the prestige. This is a franchise and an organization that's had a lot of success with offensive linemen in the past. What's it like now becoming a part of this and trying to add to a group that has some guys in place already, but bring your special talent to the table too?
Man, I'm excited, man. It's like, you get here, it's a group, it's a lot of talented guys on the offensive line. Me just being able to come in, just be around them, pick their minds, and just be able to compete with them, make me a better player. And then, having Coach Riley, and then having, Coach Adams, who's a, offensive-minded coach anyway, it's just going to help me and just help me develop.
What made Dallas the right fit for you when you kind of sat down and saw, hey, this is where I want to be for this next year?
Man, you got a great quarterback, and Dak, got, great players over here. But, Coach already talked about it. He want to run the ball. He want to be nasty. He want to be physical, and that's something I want to be a part of. I want to come over here. I want to run the ball. I want to, just be one of them guys.
I see a little twinkle in the eye when you talk about being physical and running the ball effectively. Is that what you pride yourself in?
Man, I love the run game. I love being physical, and no matter pass or run. But when I hear I want to run the ball, man, I love it.
Have you had a conversation with any of the either current or past Cowboys on that offensive line yet?
No, we ain't chop it yet, but it's coming.
It's only a matter of time. What's it been like walking around the Star, getting to see the facility for the first time, and kind of?
That boy sweating. That boy is sweating for no reason, dog.
See where your new digs are as a Dallas Cowboy.
I ain't gonna lie, it's beautiful, man. I wasn't expecting this. I come down here, Frisco's a beautiful place, in the Star. It's amazing.
Last one for you. When you were with Miami, you spent these years kind of growing in your game, getting better along the way. What's the number one lesson you learned from your time with the Dolphins that you'll apply here in Dallas?
Man, I was at Miami for 4 years. It was a place that helped me develop, and just one thing I take away is just trusting myself and just taking one day at a time, be where my feet is. Don't think too far ahead. Just keep focusing on getting better each and every day.
Well, you've got day one in the books, so that's a good start overall. Rob Jones joining us here at the Star in Frisco. Another one of the new.
Shout out to that boy Rob Jones. Let's check out the Cowboys depth chart. They got okay running backs. Javonte Williams, can they get the best out of him? Could they get the Javonte Williams from UNT? Could they? They got Malik Davis, Dalvin Cook, Deuce Vaughn. He like 4'5". Definitely a short guy. Most definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't say that Cooper Rush is better than Dak Prescott. I wouldn't say that right there. Would not say that. Receivers, they got pretty good receivers. It's just going to rely on the old line, man. If the old line could hold up, then they might be okay. He's going to be playing alongside Cooper Beebe, Terrence Steele, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Asim Richards, Brock Hoffman, TJ Bass, Josh Ball, Nathan Thomas. So they O-line, I don't know. Tyler Smith, that's the only guy that I trust in this O-line. Tyler Smith. Everybody else is questionable. Terrence Steele, sometimes he'll have good games, sometimes he'll have bad games. Cooper BB, he's on his second year. So you don't know what you're going to get from him. You don't know. Tyler Guyton, you don't know what you're going to get from him either. It's his second year as well. He has all the trades, but he still got to work on some things in regards to being an NFL tackle. Still got to work on it, man. So Robert Jones, he in a good spot. He could earn a starting spot. He could earn it. All I'm going to say is, hey, the Dolphins let him go for a reason. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say to Cowboy fans, man. That is all I'm going to say. I thought he wasn't going to sign to anybody. That's what I thought, but he signed to the Cowboys. That's a pretty decent signing, for him. The Cowboys, I thought they could have done better, but hey, so be it. We're going to see if he could capitalize and have his best year, as an NFL player with the Cowboys. We're going to see. Right here, we got Jacoby Brissett, just signed with the Arizona Cardinals. Hey, this could have been another backup quarterback that we could have got, but he ain't work out with us. But he came when we had Brian Flores. But let's hear what Brissett had to say.
Want to add competition to every room, and the quarterback room is joined alongside by the newest Arizona Cardinals quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby, welcome. Process began. What was your thought process?
Yeah, I think it all boiled down to people that I wanted to go to work with. Obviously, I had a history with Israel and Drew Petzing, and obviously JG when he was in Indy. I think those were the driving forces for me, and that's what made this place attractive to me.
You mentioned Drew Petzing. He was your quarterback's coach in Cleveland, where you started 11 games with the Browns. What is it about his coaching style that you gravitated towards?
His mindset going into games, how he breaks everything down and makes it simple for the quarterback to play. I think when I was playing there, I think I was playing really good ball, and the way he handled the meeting rooms and things like that, it definitely helped me, towards the field.
Towards the back end of the season last year, you were at State Farm Stadium for the Patriots versus the Cardinals. I know you were on the opposing sidelines and the Cardinals came away with the win, but when you were watching that game and even leading up to it as you were prepping for the Cardinals, what did you see from the Cardinals offense and defense that stood out to you?
Obviously on offense, a lot of good players, a lot of explosive players. And it was kind of cool to see all the ways that Drew kind of used that Cleveland offense and fit the players into the system and kind of built around the guys that he has here. So that was very exciting. I was trying to call the plays from the sideline and see if I was getting them right. And then obviously the defense was always tough to go against. You got a guy that leads like Buddha. It's a lot of fun to watch him, and it's obviously as an opposing player, it's very tough to go against him.
How often were you correct when you were guessing?
Probably twice.
All right, so not that bad. Things
I thought
are
it was,
changing.
yeah, exactly. I thought it was kind of good just because I knew what Drew liked and I knew some of the plays that he always tries to sprinkle in there.
So you now enter this quarterback room with guys like Kyler Murray, Clayton Tune. Knowing that you're the veteran in that room, considering you have the most experience in the league, how do you think you could complement both of those two players?
I think when you get in those rooms, you just got to figure it out as you go. Obviously you want to, in addition to the room, and bring some insight and obviously, help our room be the best room in the league and play good football. And I think that's what it all boils down to.
And we talk about competition. It takes everybody. Jacoby, welcome to Arizona. We're excited to have you in the Valley.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Shout out to that boy Jacoby. Jacoby, he been on a lot of teams, man. He been on a lot of teams, bro. Colts, Dolphins, Patriots, Cleveland, Washington, Patriots again. Back to back to back, man. Back to back to back. But Jacoby Brissett, he from my city, he from my area, West Palm Beach. So I'm very familiar with Jacoby Brissett. This should be a good dynamic with him and Kyler Murray in the same room. Clayton Tune, they pretty much brought him to compete with Clayton Tune and Anthony Brown, if he's still on the team currently. It's pretty much a competition for the backup quarterback role. Kyler Murray, he gonna be starting. You know that he gonna be starting. What other moves they made? They got James Conner, Trey Benson. That should be a pretty good duo. Maybe they add another guy, DJ Dallas, a special team guy. Michael Carter, had a bad year last year, but maybe he comes back and becomes that running back we thought that he could be. Maybe he does that. Amari DiMarcardo, he had a pretty decent year. Whenever he came in, he flashed. Definitely did. Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, Zay Jones, they just re-signed him. Tejon Palmer, Andre, Zach Prescott. This should be a good signing right here. Very good signing. If they add one more piece to this room, man, this is a pretty good receiving core. Pretty good. Elijah Higgins, they still got him, the guy that we cut. We thought he wasn't going to be nothing, but he's still doing his thing in the league. Shout out to him. Tip Ryman, he not a bad tight end. Trey McBride, I don't even got to explain it. We already know what Trey McBride is. We already know. O-line, still need some work with the O-line, but they got Paris Johnson. Christian Jones, you know, I liked him coming out the draft. That's about it, man. Will Hernandez, he not with the team. Maybe he resigns. Maybe Jonah Williams, you know, that's a pretty decent guy, but they definitely need help in the O-line, man. Especially with Kyler. You got to make sure Kyler Murray is protected, man. If you want the best Kyler, protect that boy. Protect that boy. You know, but can Jacoby Brissett work with all these weapons? Can he? We gonna find out. We definitely gonna find out. Next person we gonna watch. Who should I choose? I choose Javon.
Members of the New York Football Giants, safety Javon Howland. Javon, welcome aboard, man.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So I did some intel gathering on you. I watched your podcast, the Breaking House Rules podcast, right? So I found out that your girlfriend who's here,
yes,
she is a native New Yorker.
She is a native New Yorker.
So what has she warned you about New York City?
Food is great. The people are passionate. And it gets cold outside, but you know, I'm from Canada and I went to college in Oregon, so I'm ready for that.
I was going to say the cold shouldn't affect you. You're the snowman.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on.
So tell the fans why you're the
They trying to justify him coming to New York because he called himself the snowman. Come on, man. Let's be real. You know you're gonna miss Miami, fam. You know it, Javon. We all know it.
Snowman.
So I'm the snowman because obviously I was born in Vancouver, British Columbia, and then I went number 8, and a couple of my old teammates started calling me the snowman just because the number looks like the snowman emoji on the iPhone, and it just kind of stuck, and I kind of rolled with it. You know, shout out to Jeezy. I know he's a snowman, but in football realm, I'm the snowman.
So now, also on the podcast, your girlfriend's dad is a huge New York sports fan, correct?
Yeah.
So are we going to be able to convert you to like a Knicks fan now that you're here? Are you going to convert to all these New York teams? What are we doing?
She's a big Knicks fan, so I think I'm going to definitely have to be a Knicks fan.
Season ticket holder, man.
Truly,
so
I will be honest. When I was younger, I had a Knicks hat, and you can ask my parents this. I had a Knicks hat because Carmelo Anthony, and I loved Carmelo, and then Jeremy Lin with Linsanity. So I got some Knicks, you know what I'm saying, history in me already.
Yeah, Jeremy Lin, he was definitely a dog, man. Definitely.
But I'll support the squad.
All right, so I could tell from listening to the other pod that you did a little work on, you would name like half the Giants roster. I was very impressed. So when you look at this young secondary that you're joining, I'm sure you used to being the young guy in the secondary, right? You come here, you ain't the young guy anymore, man.
Right.
You're one of the vets back there.
Yeah.
So what is it about this group, and how can you help this group kind of take it to the next level as a secondary?
I mean, just being young, you know, they're fresh into the league, and that, you know, having leadership, me and Paulson being, you know, older in the group, I think it's going to be great. I think I've been in a lot of, you know, different situations, which have given me great experience to be able to, you know, push them in the right direction and help lead them while also, you know, helping them find who they are and find their voice. So I think just adding me is like a guiding light for the young guys in the room, and I'm really excited to be that.
Now, your last 3 years had 3 different defensive coordinators, correct?
Yeah, 4 years, 4 defensive coordinators. Even though Josh Boyer was back after my first year, the defense was different. So I consider it. Okay. Yeah, so I consider it 4 defense coordinators, 4 years.
So is this just?
Man, we did Javon Holland so dirty with that, man. We did Javon Holland so dirty, bro. We had no stability in Miami. No stability, man.
Easy coming to learn a new system, and is this system, from what you've seen, similar to one of the ones that you had in Miami at some point?
Yeah, I know Coach Bone was with Coach Vrabel in the past, and they ran like a similar 2 high, and Vrabel comes from the Patriots system, so there are similarities definitely. I think once you kind of figure out a way to learn and you figure out your style of learning, then whatever it is that you're trying to ingest is going to end up being easier once you figure out your specific way. So every time I look into a new defense or a new system, there are different things that point out to me that will help me grasp the scheme.
Easy to label somebody a safety, but you have to be able to basically play inside linebacker.
Correct.
You have to be able to play slot.
Right.
You have to be able to play the robber position, middle of the defense, and you have to be the center field in a split safety. So you have a lot of different spots you have to play. Where do you think you play your best football? Which one of those spots, doing what role?
I think I play my best ball when I'm behind, when I'm back deep, and I'm able to control and to see the field and to read and react. I think that's where I'm best. Not saying that I'm not good still rotating down. I think I'm a 5-tier safety, being able to rotate down, make tackles, the whole 9. But I think I'm best when I'm back deep, seeing the field, communicating.
Is that where you think, because I know this defense, they really want to get the hands on the football, right? They want to force takeaways. Is that the spot where you think you could play the biggest role in forcing those takeaways, or do you want to be a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage to get closer to the quarterback? Because there are two sides to that coin, right?
No, I definitely think that being back deep, going to get the ball, being a ball hawk, I think that's definitely where I will thrive at in this defense. I know T-Noob is like really, really good along the line of scrimmage, blitzing and whatnot. So
smart guy too.
I'm really looking forward to working with him so that we can find the best mix to go out there and be successful.
Can you be a little bit more aggressive as a safety when you have guys like Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns up front, and the quarterback's not going to be going back to?
Yeah, absolutely. If the rush is getting
This don't look real, man. That boy is really a New York Giant for a long time. I thought Javon Holland was going to be a guy that's going to be here for a long time, man. So, hey, I'm not even going to cap. I'm going to miss Javon, even though he ain't played well, his last year with us. But, we going to see what he does this year. We going to see.
Yes. But if the coverage is there and the quarterback can't let the ball go, that means they can go and get the quarterback. You know what I mean? They have more time to get to him. So having Dex and KT and Brian Burns, and then we just signed Chauncey, like having those guys up front going crazy, I'm really excited for that.
I'm going to ask you about Kayvon in a second, but they also brought in another defensive back, Paulson Adebo, who was in your draft class in 2021. You guys are both old school. It doesn't exist anymore, but Pac-12 guys, right? Do you have a relationship with him, and what do you feel about being able to chance to play with another guy that I think both of you consider yourselves ascending players?
Yeah, me and Paulson have mutual respect from each other. We played each other in college, and then we played each other one time in the league. But just from afar, I've always respected his game, and I'm excited to play with him. He's got like the most PBUs in the last 2 years, or something like
28
that.
the last 2 years,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see him flourish, and it's gonna be fun, playing alongside him.
When you spoke to the
that's crazy, Javon Holland knew about that stat. That's crazy. That's crazy. But looking at them boys' depth chart, Javon Holland, he definitely going to be the best safety off rip. Definitely, you're going to have to guide all these young guys to be as good as him. Definitely, but Javon Holland, he just going to have to stay safe, not safe, but healthy. He's going to have to stay healthy. Especially going up against the Commanders and the Eagles twice a year. That's going to be tough on you, Javon. That's going to be tough. You're going to have to tackle Saquon Barkley. Good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. The second best safety is Tyler Nubin. Remember him coming out of Minnesota. Definitely a ball hawk, man. Definitely a ball hawk. I'm predicting 4 interceptions from him this year. At least 4. I think he can make it happen, man. I think he can make it happen. Cornerbacks. They got Deontay Banks, Cordell Flott, Paulson Adebo. So they got a decent 3. Deontay Banks, he could only get better. Last year, he kind of had a bad year. But, you're hoping that this year he gets better than what he was last year. You're hoping so. And they're probably going to address the DB room in the upcoming draft. Probably will. So there might be a chance for the Giants, but I don't see too much hope with the Giants. I don't.
Media, you refer to yourself as an ascending player. Where do you think you have room to make that jump to consistently be that? All right, I'm in the All-Pro conversation every year now.
So my thing is when I view my game, I think in every aspect I can improve. You know what I mean? And I think that I want to improve in every aspect because I don't think that I'm finished in one category and I have more in another. And it may seem broad to say that, but that's truly how I feel. I feel like that once I'm in a system and I can find my role and I can be in that role for a long time, then I'll feel like I'll be flourished and comfortable. So yeah, I feel like my game has changed every year just because of what's been asked of me. But I'm really excited to be in the system and stay in the system and grow within it and, allow my talents to show for themselves.
Based on what you said on your pod, it sounded like the Giants maybe were not the team when this whole process started that you thought you would wind up with. How did you kind of wind up with the Giants? And And kind of how did you wrap your head around that?
Yeah, I mean, free agency is kind of unpredictable almost.
I can't imagine how it works for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm watching from the outside and it's chaos. To actually be in the middle of it, I can't even imagine.
So my agents, they're the ones that are talking to teams and whatnot. And I'm kind of just like waiting for their phone call. And so, what was beforehand and what was predicted didn't go necessarily as planned. So then there was a pivot, not for the better or for worse, but there was a pivot.
Yeah, changes happen.
You're right. And it ended up coming up that the Giants called me and they called my agents and they made the offer and I was super excited because for me it wasn't necessarily like what team picked me, it was like what their intent was and how they wanted me, you know what I mean? And the Giants really were excited to have me and they made that clear to my agents and so that felt really good to know that I'm wanted and I'm needed somewhere and I'm excited to be here.
How quickly did you get on the phone with Kayvon when you found out the Giants were thinking about you?
Dude, he's been calling and texting me for I don't know how long, telling me like, man, come up to New York, man, come up to New York. So once everything was settled, I had sent him a message like right after, and he was super juiced. He's out west right now, and so he's like a couple hours behind. So I was able to send him a message. He's still up, and he was.
Kayvon, he used to play for Oregon, the same school as Javon Holland. So him and Javon got that connection, man. But I don't think it's gonna make a difference, man. I don't know, but they got two good edge guys, Brian Burns and him. So they could make something happen. But like I said, that division is too hard. Way too hard.
It's really juice.
Finally, since I know you have family here, I'm sure you've done a lot of the New York stuff already. But is there something when you get here you really want to sink your teeth into New York-wise?
I mean, just being into the New York culture, like understanding the city and how it works, and New Jersey golf, like all of that. So.
Oh, you're a big golfer.
I'm a big golfer.
There are a lot of courses in Jersey, dude.
I heard,
there is no shortage.
I'm
Congratulations,
excited.
man.
Thank
Welcome
you very
aboard.
much.
Javon Holland, one of the newest members of the New York Football Giants.
Shout out to that boy Javon, man. We definitely gonna miss him. But he a goner now. Next person is Anthony Walker. He signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a pretty good fit. Him and Levante David should be a good pairing, man. Whoever played with Levante David ends up being at least a decent linebacker. At least a decent one. He's just with Anthony Walker Jr. He's going to have to stay healthy. That's it, man. I know he tired from hopping from team to team. It seemed like he just want to settle down with one place. With Miami, he was coaching on his off time and going to practice, but now he can't do that. He all in Tampa. So I know he's going to have to stop coaching his team in Miami. Maybe he do that over there in Tampa. Who knows? But a shout out to Anthony Walker, man. I definitely like them being a Dolphin, but hey, life is life, man. Life is life.
I want to ask you, Levante David the other day mentioned that you guys have a relationship and that he knows how hard you work and knows all about you. Can you talk about what that relationship might be and how that started?
Yeah, I know Levante, pretty much most of my life. Being from Miami, actually one of his close friends, I played football with his little brother, so I was just always around. And, once I made the NFL, they kind of let me get into the group, the older group, to hang with the cool kids, I guess. But we trained together every offseason since like my third year in the NFL. Obviously a mentor of mine, a guy that I've learned from, tried to model my game after, and just a very good friend of mine.
He's part of the reason that you're here, maybe that connection and speaking up for you a little bit?
Yeah, huge reason, obviously. Obviously the respect that he has in Tampa, on this team, in the city. Everywhere he's been, he's, touched a lot of lives, and, for him to, help me get here is amazing as well. So, obviously, a chance to be teammates would be pretty dope. And I kept telling him that. And he was like, he said one day he was going to make it happen. We've been trying to get this done since I was getting drafted, but, finally able to get it done.
Go to James Hill.
Oh, no.
Welcome back to Papa John's. I'm hand stuffing this mozzarella to make our epic stuffed crust pizza. Epic.
Hey, Anthony, congratulations on coming over to Tampa. Talk a little bit about bringing your gift, playing inside for the Bucs, a franchise, a team that plays defense.
Yeah, I'm someone who prides myself on playing defense. You know, the Mike linebacker has always been, you know, the quarterback of the defense. You demand a lot is demanded of you, a lot is required, and I enjoy doing that job. You know, a position that I grew to love. Once I got to college, switching from DB to linebacker, and been playing it ever since. So, obviously, knowing what comes with the job, the work that you got to put in, and I'm willing to put in that work. I've been doing it, you know, and it's, like I said, just the opportunity presented itself for me to be here, and I want to take full advantage of it.
Growing up in South Florida, playing in the league, and being able to look over at Tampa, you know what they do and what they're about. But talk about being a part of the Bucs now and helping this club, and you want to get this team to their third Super Bowl to win. But just talk a little bit about being a part of Tampa now.
Yeah, always watching from afar. You know, obviously with Levante being here, and then you know, obviously the last few years, seeing how close they were maybe in the last few years.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. He was over with Baker Mayfield in Cleveland.
I text Bake, you know, the same day and told him, you know, he's my teammate again, and he just started laughing. How close this team is to being where you know, where every team, all 31 other teams want to be, but you know, I feel like this team is right there, and I just want to play a small part and do my role and help this team do that, help this team get there, and whatever it takes and whatever my job requires of me to get done, I want to do it to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, my guy.
JC Allen.
Hey, Anthony, congrats on signing with the Bucs. Levante David, man of the people, man of his word. Finally got you here, huh? But, you know, one area this team struggled with last year was the middle of the field, covering the middle of the field. That's one of your specialties, is coverage. Just talk about what you bring to the field when you're asked to drop in coverage and how you think it can help this team.
Yeah, obviously defense is all about just knowing where your spot is, and everyone knowing where their spot is, and you know, understanding how offenses can attack us, and making sure we limit those games when they do throw it there. But obviously it starts out with me doing my job, and you know, my job is to cover the middle of the field. You know, I pride myself on not allowing the ball to be thrown behind me or deep behind me or deep in front of me. You know, that's my job. You know, and that's me knowing, you know, what the defensive call is and executing my job at that time, whether it's I'm blitzing or I'm dropping in coverage or I'm stopping the run, whatever it is. You just want to execute your job and make sure the other 10 guys are on the same page as you with what the defensive call is. So, you know, I see all the stuff on social media and everything where people be like, oh, it's PFF grade and all that. I'm here to tell you, you can watch the film. You know, the ball does not get completed behind me or in front of me in the middle of the field. So, and that's how I feel.
Okay, that boy standing on that PFF grade. Okay, let's check out his PFF grade real quick. Anthony Walker PFF. Check that out. 048. On 516 snap count. That's wild right there. That's wild. But hey, you gotta show us if you can improve. Run defense 69.5, so he was pretty good at that. Coverage grade 39.1. Pass rush grade 44.2. So Anthony Walker, hopefully you could learn from Levante David, because you know Levante David, he an animal. Let me see. Let's see what Levante David does for the Buccaneers. Levante, not Edwards, David, man. $68.7. We used to Levante David performing way better than this. You know, but Levante David, he way older than you, 35 years old, and he got a better PFF score. 68.7 overall grade, 65.7 pass rush grade. He good all over the board. He good all over. No red flags with Levante David. But with Anthony Walker, it just seems like He just gonna have to learn from Devontae. Just gonna have to learn from him. They got Deion Jones too. Not a bad linebacker. Not a bad one. Chris Braswell. He's more so of an edge guy, to be honest, when you watch the tape. Savoursier, Dennis, you know, they let go all their guys because they probably got some confidence in regards to him. They probably do, man. You know, but hey, that's gonna be it for this live stream. You know, I got places to be. You know, it's Friday night. You know, I gotta get lit Friday night. Gotta get lit. I'll be back tomorrow. You know, I'm gonna post some videos as well today. So y'all be on the lookout for those, man. But hey, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. You already know it's DGE, Dolphin Gang Entertainment. It's your boy